Buy when there's blood in the streets. You've probably heard that old financial saying, right? It basically means the best time to invest is when everyone else is panicking. But in today's explainer, we're tracking a completely different playbook. The world's elite are pulling off a massive, coordinated wealth transfer, and honestly, they're doing it right under our noses. So ask yourself, what are the world's elite really buying right now? If you just skim the headlines, you'd think the absolute smartest money out there is just chasing the next tech breakthrough, a soaring stock index, or some new billionaire space race. We're totally conditioned to believe that modern fortunes are built on digital clouds and luxury brands. But here's the catch. While the masses are distracted by infinite lines of code, AI, and the latest crypto craze, massive institutional giants like BlackRock, they're looking the exact opposite way. They aren't betting on our digital future. They're silently cornering the market on the single most precious, absolutely finite substance on planet Earth: water. Wall Street insiders actually have a name for this brand new asset class. They call it blue gold. We're talking about the complete commodification of a basic human need into a private, highly profitable asset. And look, this isn't some dystopian science fiction. This is happening right now, in real time, completely reshaping global power dynamics as we speak.
Which brings us to part one: the silent land grab and Wall Street's underground obsession. To see how they're pulling this off, we literally have to look at the dirt beneath our feet.
All across the drought-stricken American West and in critical regions worldwide, elite investment firms are dropping billions of dollars on ancient agricultural properties. But here's the wild part: they couldn't care less about the dirt. They have zero interest in growing crops. What they actually want are the underground aquifers.
It all comes down to this brilliant, albeit ruthless, Wall Street loophole. In a lot of legal systems, whoever owns a piece of land gets the absolute right to pump the water beneath it. So you buy up cheap, dry farmland, secure the historical water rights attached to it, and boom, just like that, a basic human need is legally transformed into a privately owned commodity. Moving into part two, the math of scarcity and non-elastic economics. Make no mistake, this isn't a charity play, and it's definitely not a random investment. It's cold, calculated economics. Just think about the stuff we consume every day. You can easily choose not to buy a new smartphone, or maybe you cut back on your electricity usage. Those are boycottable. But water. Water operates on non-elastic demand. You literally cannot choose to stop drinking it. Those massive AI data centers cannot cool their servers without it. Agriculture simply cannot feed the planet without it. The demand never ever drops. And this perfectly illustrates the strategy in action. Let's call it the Phoenix playbook. Out in the dry suburbs of Arizona, private investors quietly ran this exact sequence: buy cheap farmland, secure the historic water rights, wait for the rivers to dry up, then turn around and sell those exact same water rights back to thirsty, growing towns for millions in pure profit. Scarcity did literally all the heavy lifting. Or for a massive real-world example, look at the Resnick Empire over in California. This single billionaire couple quietly built up a private water empire that controls more water infrastructure and groundwater than the entire city of Los Angeles combined. They use this massive reserve to fuel their insanely profitable almond and pistachio farms, while neighboring towns literally watch their municipal wells go completely dry. That's the sheer power of holding the water rights. Let's jump into part three, betting on drought. Because as scary as these localized land grabs are, what happened next was a terrifying, massive paradigm shift in the global financial world. Check out this timeline. For all of human history, water was essentially a universally free public right. But in December 2020, history was quietly made under the radar. Water officially became a tradable commodity on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Yep, Wall Street is now placing bets on the future price of water right alongside crude oil and gold. It totally paves the way for our future: water as a strictly controlled corporate asset. Just pause and think about the psychological impact of that for a second. When a resource that is absolutely vital for biological life becomes a speculative asset for hedge funds, their entire goal becomes maximizing that price. For these funds, scarcity isn't a tragedy, it's a profit margin. The drier the planet gets, the richer these investment firms become. Their financial incentives are now perfectly aligned with global drought. All right, part four, the corporate blueprint and global privatization. I want to be super clear here. This isn't just an American phenomenon. It's a highly coordinated worldwide blueprint.
Now, what's truly mind-blowing here is the sheer scale of the profit. We are talking a 10,000% markup. Megacorporations like Nestle have spent decades sliding into economically vulnerable regions, everywhere from small towns in Michigan to rural areas in Pakistan. They buy up local water springs for literal pennies, pump out millions of gallons, and then sell it right back to the public in plastic bottles at a staggering 10,000% markup.
And they defend this aggressively, too. Corporate executives have openly gone on record arguing that the very idea of water being a free public right is extreme. Let that sink in. They view the Earth's natural water cycle purely as a corporate asset. And honestly, through intense lobbying and relentless land acquisition, they're kind of winning the war to privatize it.
You see this rural takeover happening on the ground every single day. A family farm gets crushed by debt or inflation, and a corporate shell company is just waiting in the shadows. They step in, absorb the land, but more importantly, they absorb those historic water permits. The traditional farmers get pushed out entirely, and corporate boards essentially become the new rulers of the countryside.
Which brings us to our final section, the ultimate monopoly and the centralization of human survival. This is the 30 to 50-year endgame for the world's elite.
The smartest money in the world understands this one fundamental truth. The digital age can print infinite lines of virtual data, endless code, and billions of digital tokens. But nobody, not a single government, tech CEO, or advanced AI system, can manufacture a single drop of clean, fresh water. It is a finite, rapidly shrinking bank account. And the elite are making absolutely sure they own the keys to the vault.
So, the crucial point you need to take away from this explainer is this. The endgame of this blue monopoly is the complete centralization of life itself. Think about it. If future generations are forced to pay a private corporation a massive premium just to access the water that keeps them alive, ultimate power shifts. It moves entirely away from elected governments and everyday citizens, straight into the hands of a few untouchable private entities. By controlling the water, you don't just control a financial market. You control the ultimate leverage over cities, industries, and human survival. It's the ultimate trump card. The elite are pulling their wealth out of the digital clouds and locking it down into the earth, the aquifers, and the rivers, because they know for a fact whoever controls the water rules the world.
Which leaves us with one final, incredibly important thought. When all the digital noise finally clears, the tech bubbles pop, and paper money loses its value, who will own the key to your survival? Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Keep your eyes open out there, and always question where the smart money is really going.